Welcome back. You're watching Africa This Morning, and we are now on Table Talk, our third segment of the day. And my guest today is Machakos County Woman Rep and Member of Parliament, Susan Musyoka, who is joining me in the studio to discuss about Ukambani politics and the role of women leadership in the country. Honorable Susan Musyoka, thank you for joining us on board on Africa This Morning. We do appreciate your time. Let me start off with this. Women representation in the country has had a lot of hurdles and stumbles with regards to equality in terms of representation and playing active politics or active roles and responsibilities, just as men politicians do in the country. How does your election and the election of 46 other women representatives across the country paves way for women representation in active politics in the country? And what images is it going to going forward? What images is it going to clearly give the country now that you have been elected because of the constitutional dispensation, which clearly allows for that? And is that going to change the script finally for women in active politics?
Okay, thank you very much for having me here today on women and politics in Kenya. I must first of all say that it has been a very long struggle. We started off with about 2 women at independence.
Okay.
And the picture was a men-only picture.
Okay.
And no goes on for women. And very, very slowly, 50 years down the line, in the last parliament, we only had 18, I think it was 18 women.
Okay.
And with the new constitution that is in place now, we have the 47 who are elected on an affirmative action seat. And then we have 16 others who are elected in single constituencies, and then they're nominated, giving us a house of 86.
83, 73, 63, that is.
Yeah, and out of 349 members of parliament, which is still just 20% instead of the required 30%. So we still have a long way to go, and we need the 2/3 gender rule in place so that come 2017 we achieve that number in parliament. With the county assembly, it has already been achieved, and we have more women now because the balance of women that was required to reach 2/3 was nominated, and to reach 1/3. And I must say that this increase in numbers in women in parliament is very significant. It's very important. It is something we should not lose. Having more women in parliament makes us make decisions with us being more sensitive to women issues, persons with disability, and the marginalized people. So when it comes to the bills that have been tabled and that have passed so far that favor women, we have the marriage bill, we have the matrimonial property bill, the gender-based violence bill, we have other bills that we feel we supported. The access to information bill, which was brought by the women representative for Nyeri, and others that we rally around issues that women bring forward, and we do feel that our voice is being heard, and not as much as we would like, but something is happening. Yes,
there are some changes.
Yes,
not we were where we were 50 years ago.
Exactly. Now
there is a difference, and you are still politically dreaming big for even more number of women representation in parliament and across county assemblies in the country.
That is very true, because some of the things that are happening in the country, we feel that with more women voicing the issues that are women related, because women issues are family issues. They are everybody's issues. You can see, like now, the 30% procurement rule. Although it has been put forward, the implementation has not really happened. So we need to hear women voicing that and insisting that the county government should give their tenders to women, to persons with disability, to the people who have been disadvantaged all along. It has not completely happened. But if we reduce the number of women who are fighting for such issues, then we'll never achieve some of these things. When we look at the face of women, even in the paper today, the First Lady, what she has done, it is so significant. It is going to touch the lives of so many Kenyans. So putting women at the background does not help. We have a role to play in leadership. And there are things that we see that men will never see. So we need to be where decisions are being made, and we know we can make a difference.
Do you believe having a female president on board, say for instance Martha Karua went for the presidency in 2013, suppose she was the winner, do you believe that she was going to live better than President Jomo Kenyatta, President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, and President Mwai Kibaki?
What I believe is that the world would be different.
Okay.
About better, she as a woman, she would handle issues in a different manner than the way the men do handle things. Like those things that I'm talking about 30% procurement and others. And even when I remember Martha Karua in the Ministry of Water, she started the reforms, and those did make a difference in issues of what, as far as water supply is concerned, because she's the one who started off with the service,
the changes within the docket.
Yes, yes. So that we have the regional water boards, and we have the service delivery boards instead of the county council or municipal council boards. And if these boards would work properly, it would bring water closer to the people. So I would say Martha Karua, with support, she certainly would make a difference in this country. Right
from the top leadership, that is. But also there are corruption allegations mentioned against Anne Waiguru, the former devolution cabinet secretary. She's a woman, and at the time she was put in that responsibility by President Uhuru Kenyatta as the devolution cabinet secretary. There were massive corruption allegations which are made against her, which up to the pressure mounting led to her resignation. And today, on the first page of the Daily Nation, we have seen 143 billion Kenya shillings which were unaccounted for there. Isn't it a fear also that being put in such huge positions is going to create a sort of fear in the country?
I think sometimes men are very harsh when judging women. Women are human beings, and they can be corrupt. So you don't judge me because I'm a woman. Judge me because I'm a human being and capable of getting involved in all the vices that a human being can be involved in. Let me give an example of the first deputy Chief Justice,
Nancy
Baraza. When she did what she did, she was so harshly handled and removed from office so fast, not because what she did was so severe, but because she is a woman. Because we've seen men doing, look at what Governor Kidero did to Honorable Shebesh, and he's still in office and enjoying himself. If it was a woman who had slapped a man,
then the pressure would be different.
That woman would not be the governor of Nairobi today. So I don't know whether it is the money muscle, the fact that we don't have so much resources, but the way we are handled, even now, we as women representatives, we are looked at very different. We do contribute in parliament, but we are looked at a lens
that is different.
But than the 300, how many men? 280 men. If you look at the 280 men who are in parliament, and if you worked out the percentage of the ones who are most active, you'll find that they are less than the women who are active in parliament in terms of percentage. So, but then they look at us and say, no, you people should not even be here. You don't know what you're doing. So really, we need to start looking at ourselves differently and look at us as women, as human beings, and as people who are representing other people.
And have the same capacity.
And have the right to be there.
And have the same capacity as your male counterparts within the political spectrum to deliver. Now, I'm coming to this. You represent Machakos County. We have had a sort of a new governance called devolution afterwards 2013, but despite some sort of problems in the earlier takeoff to this new governance, we have had corruption allegations against counties across the country. In your county, your governor, Dr. Alfred Mutua, has initiated what he calls a Maendeleo Chap-Chap. Critics say that it is a political project of the ruling Jubilee coalition. Some say it is a development mechanism or vehicle or tool to move forward the I beg your pardon, to move forward the Ukambani region generally. Therefore, where do you, what's your scorecard with regards to that? How do you place it? Not viewing from a perspective that you are a woman rep for Machakos, but generally, how is it going to fare out in Ukambani region, which is an opposition backyard?
That's not a very easy question, but then let me give the picture on the ground. We were elected on a Wiper ticket. Governor Mutua, myself, the senator. And once we got elected, really, you know, Kenyans, when it comes to political parties, instead of the ideologies, we look at personalities. And we need to move out of that. I personally am more of a social democrat. And that is what attracted me into politics. Looking at the poverty, the issues that are on the ground, that and the issues of inequality and lack of equal distribution of resources. That is what attracted me to politics, to see how we can get resources down to the people. When we didn't get the presidency as a CORD, that did not mean that I should shift to Jubilee. It meant that I should continue in CORD. And as in CORD, we still have a lot of hope that eventually, in fact, 2017, we should win the presidency. And instead of joining the ruling party, I would like to still pursue the issues of social democracy, the issues of equality, the issues of equity, so that the ruling coalition, whether it is CORD, whether it is Jubilee, is sensitive to the real issues of the people. And we have a sense of equality at the grassroots level. So when it comes to Maendeleo Chap-Chap, Governor Mutua did not work very well with our senator and with other elected leaders. He has a lot of ideas which are up there. And we would like to see these ideas getting to the ground. He promised us a new city. And what I would like to see is at least some signs that the new city is it's upcoming. It is coming, yes. Water and showers for everybody by this time. And we would like to see those things happening. So when you say move from Wiper to Maendeleo Chap-Chap, it doesn't make sense to me. It is work within Wiper to achieve these things and to convince me that it can be achieved. So I see Maendeleo Chap-Chap as part of Jubilee, and the people in Ukambani are not yet ready to move to Jubilee. We want to work within CORD and see that CORD attains power come 2017. And the manifesto that we have in CORD, based on social democracy rather than capitalism and all that. And we would like to see that working among our people, because I think it's the best scenario that we can get.
And just to be in that, still in that question, Kalonzo Musyoka, who is seen as the political point guard of Ukambani region, is as well the leader of Wiper, which forms a part of the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy. And Raila Odinga, who is the leader of CORD, has hinted at a possible a very possible political marriage with the Amani National Coalition leader Musalia Mudavadi. If that happens or comes into effect and Mudavadi happens to be the flag bearer for CORD in 2017, then that is not going to go down well with the likes of Kalonzo and Wetangula, who have been active co-principals with Raila Odinga.
I don't see that happening. Actually, when you look at CORD, and in terms of strengths, ODM is the biggest party. Actually, it's a bigger party than URP and then TNA. They go ODM, URP, TNA, then Wiper. Wiper is like number 4 in the list.
Okay.
And when it comes to CORD, it is ODM, then Wiper, then Wetangula's party. Ford Kenya. So Amani has been courting with Jubilee. If they came into the picture, I don't see them coming and becoming the top. This, this is politics. We want to woo the Luhya community to come into the CORD. And what would be a better thing but to tell them you'll be a flag bearer. But we in Ukambani, we are supporting Kalonzo and putting all our efforts together to remain in Wiper, so that Kalonzo fights it out with whoever else is in CORD. Even if we don't get number 1, if we get number 2, we'll be comfortable. And we would like a fair way of selecting the flag bearer. And whoever will be selected, so long as it is done fairly, we are ready to accept. Because if we start moving to Jubilee, what do we become there? Number 1 and 2 is already taken.
Already decided?
Yeah.
Even prior to the launch on 10th of September?
Exactly. So what, we would not go there. We would rather continue fighting within CORD and fighting for the people who have elected us, and fighting for those things that I've talked about, the social democracy, so that people can get. And today's constitution, really, if really we did what the constitution says, the presidency should not matter. If we got a good governor and the resources were used properly, the people would be comfortable.
And do you believe that the government has jeopardized the flow of money or the or finance into the counties? Because at some point we have had a sort of political friction and misunderstanding between governors, especially the former Council of Governors chairman Isaac Ruto, who is the Bomet County governor, rubbing shoulders in the negative way with the Deputy President William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta, and generally criticizing the national government for not wanting to see of devolution in the country, saying that they are not allocating the required money into the counties, and that they are jeopardizing, generally, they are jeopardizing devolution at some point. Therefore, do you believe that the national government has been on twos to ensure that it does block the successful and the complete takeoff of devolution in the country?
When we go back to history, really the people who fought for devolution, mainly Raila Odinga and the team that is in CORD, the people who are against the devolution, one of them is Ruto, the deputy president, seriously and very much against that. So really, when they have been vested with the authority now to implement, you find a little bit of reluctance. And I would think the most well-placed persons to have implemented this constitution would have been the CORD fraternity. Now, that withstanding, I feel that the devolution has not worked as well as it should have. Some dockets are even more affected than others. When you look at the health sector, the doctors, the workers in the health sector have been suffering. First and foremost, the way the money flows from the national government
to the
county is not smooth. So salaries are delayed, and even resources are delayed, so that the health delivery is really affected. And it was a big mistake to have devolved the health sector or let her go like that. The education sector is not fully devolved. They only devolved the ECD. And when you go to the counties and check how far the counties have done as far as ECD is concerned, it is still very wanting.
Okay.
So really, I believe that although we are very enthusiastic about devolution, the implementation is not happening as it should happen. And if it did, it is still the best thing that can happen to the Kenyans.
So the pace or the momentum is not as required by the Constitution, and that you suggest we are too enthusiastic about the entire devolution process. I'll come to this. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IBC, led by Chairman Isaac Hassan and the 8 other commissioners, have agreed to step aside following mounting political pressure, which subsequently led to the formation of the Bipartisan Parliamentary Senate Committee, co-chaired by Senators Kiraitu Murungi and James Orengo, which finally saw them off, but with packages and the immunity prosecution. Therefore, now this will mean that on 30th of September this month, then a new electoral body will be in place to oversee the 2017 elections next year. Therefore, the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy, in which your party wiper is part of, has been staging a street protest against the IEBC, which at some point has turned bloody. We have seen the death of 3 to 4 people, and across the country over 50 others injured, which at some point went to be a countrywide demonstration led by the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy leader Raila Odinga. Therefore, do you believe a new electoral body in place in 2017 is going to quench your thirst, political thirst for that matter, and that you're going to be contented with how they are going to oversee the process now that the leeway has been provided for a free, fair and transparent elections in 2017 and beyond?
I do believe that strongly. I was part of the protest.
Okay.
I did participate.
Were you tear gassed?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Both here in Nairobi and in Machakos. Okay. We did stage protests. And we are happy that at least the commission is going home.
Okay.
And the process that we are going to use to put others in place should be in such a manner that all the parties involved feel that they are comfortable with the selection. Okay. And we believe that a new team will do a better job
than Isaac Hassan company.
Yeah, okay. After what happened in 2013,
okay.
Really we would like to see something different come 2017. We would like also to see a proper scrutiny of the register,
okay.
And also a way of, you know, the last time we spent so much money buying the BVR kits, and then they were never used. We either decide from the outset whether we are going to use BVR kits or not. And if we are going to use them, they should be used even on the day of election, so that we feel if we are defeated, we should be defeated fairly, and there should be no theft. Okay. So those measures should be put in place, and as parliamentarians and even the people on the ground, we would hate to go to an exercise where we know somebody has already won in advance.
Okay.
So we are looking forward to see a new team, to see those measures that we have talked about in that report put in place, and a fair election taking place.
Okay. In 2017.
2017.
And even beyond.
And beyond.
Okay.
Because Kenya, really, there's been always issues of rigging, and when you are rigged out, it's very painful. And when you are rigged out of a presidential election, it is even more painful. We would like to be defeated fairly, not unfairly.
Okay. So you are setting yourselves up for 2017 elections, and that you are contented with the upcoming new electoral body, which is going to oversee not only the 2017 elections, but also party nominations in CORD and Jubilee coalitions, if either coalitions, political coalitions, are willing to invite the electoral body to come and oversee its party nominations.
Yes. We believe that parties, in our party, we have promised people that we are going to have free and fair elections. And if the only way to do it is to bring in the IEBC. We will do it so that everybody is satisfied and we get the people that the persons that the people want. Actually, the most challenging part of election is party nominations. And the other good thing is that there will be no party hopping now.
Yeah.
So people had better, that I think it's a part of development now. We move now from that stage of personalities to ideologies. Yeah. Be in a party because you believe in the ideology of that party. But don't just move. In the US, if you are a Republican, you are a Republican. You don't shift.
And if you are a Democrat?
You are a Democrat throughout. So if you lose, you remain there and you keep fighting for what the Democrats believe in. So we need to start developing that in our country.
Is there any fear that the law you have agreed to is going to be again amended at some point in the 12th Parliament? Because politically, we have seen that the fear is already surfacing across the political divide, and we have had a rising number of political parties in the country since 1992, when afterwards multi-party democracy, to 1992, 97, 2002, 7 and 2013 elections. There are political parties, the rise of political parties. Therefore, do I foresee, or does the electoral, does the voter outside there foresee any danger that this is going to be amended at some point again, which will allow for again party hopping for members in the coming future?
I cannot rule that out, but again, I want to emphasize the need for us to have a mature democracy. Really, why, if you ask the MPs, why do they hop? Why do you move from, like now, you're defeated in a nomination exercise. You wanted a party like TNA, and you're defeated. You know what TNA believes in. You come now to CORD. It's a different
political environment.
Completely different. And you find that those who come to CORD and win, they will eventually go back to where they came from. And so, have we lost or have we gained?
A matter to be decided by the voter.
Yes.
As you move forward to create a political parties or political environment based on ideologies, that is, if that happens or comes into effect. One last question, Honorable Musyoka. On 3rd of July, you say this, I quote you, "I want to urge women across Machakos County to take part in politics by seeking elective seats so that they can take part in moving forward the agenda of this country, the county and the country." And unquote. Is this a call that finally women can go from being embodiments of reasons at their homes and be leaders, and as well induce that change within the coffers of politics in the country?
Yes, that is very, very true. When we just sit and keep quiet, a lot of things happen that are not right. So, and in my now, this is my first term in Parliament, I can say that we have made decisions that have affected this country positively. So if we had more women taking part, not just in members of Parliament, even in the church, in the all the committees, schools, everywhere where we require leaders, we need to get women involved so that the decisions that they make, you know, I said earlier that there are things that we see with our eyes that men can never see. There are decisions, even in construction of a school, the women's input makes a difference. Where toilets are going to be put, where, you know, and if we leave them out, we find that sometimes we might have to do some demolitions. So why don't we have them on board and get their input from the word go? These are times that women are participating in nation building. They are owning property. They are investing, and they are involved in many roles. So if you leave them out, part of development is also being left out. And in Machakos, I'm urging women to not to shy out, come for all the elective posts that are available. In the last election, we had no governor woman elected. And I don't think any women came out.
Okay.
We need to come out and contest for those seats.
For the gubernatorial seats across the country.
There is no senator woman. We need to come out and participate so that we are visible and we can be noticed. MCAs, MPs, everywhere.
Across the quarters of the political spaces that political parties or politicians will be contesting for. And moving forward, as you mentioned, to have a better political representation of women, both at the national government and at the county government level. As you mentioned, to act as a preventive mechanism for decision-making processes by men politicians, for that matter. Honorable Susan Musyoka, Machakos County Woman Rep, thank you for joining us on Africa this morning. That marks the end of our discussion, and it has been a lovely one to include the bringing. Okay.
I would also like to add that in Parliament, I have initiated a caucus, a parliamentary caucus, on increasing the use of evidence in our decision-making processes. This is an important aspect. It is the way the world is going, and we need to have evidence in everything that we do, in our criticism, and in all the activities that we are involved in our oversight role, so that when I'm criticizing my governor, I should put evidence on the table.
Backing up your facts.
To back the facts. And this is like a movement, and world over we are having the evaluation of SDGs using evidence, so that we move a notch higher, and the use of evaluation reports, and the need to promote M&E, monitoring and evaluation, so that people are using informed decisions to make decisions. And I think that is something valuable that I needed to mention, and an aspect that is coming from women into Parliament. And also the motto of UN, no one should be left behind. Everybody should participate. At all
inclusive, that is.
Right.
Championing for the rights of women.
Right.
On that note, we end the Table Talk from Africa this morning. It has been a lovely conversation, and this all goes online. We are on Twitter at Ebru TV Kenya, at Ayub Abdikadir, and at Mwai_Eunice. The hashtag is Africa this morning. And from me, Ayub Sheikh, and the team here. It's bye for now.